Hello everybody and welcome back, and I just recorded quite a lot of footage only to discover the microphone wasn't on. It was quite a lot of explanation, so not much action was missed. The party and the caravan did move on for several days. I did roll every evening to see if Maddox transformed into a were-tiger, and he failed every time except for once. So that's an extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fails and 1 success. We are saying goodbye to the caravan in Parsa. We're saying goodbye to Ragnar Redpants, the kindly old cleric who gives toys and sweets to children. We're saying goodbye to Hilda, the rather innocent, childlike but very capable fighter. Joseph, the orphan thief who had a slightly sinister air. They also have to say goodbye to Maddox. They have worked in the caravan together for a long time, and as much as they know Maddox is a bit of an ass, he is a colleague, and he did get this affliction in the line of duty trying to save the caravan. We're taking with us Orm, who is travelling back to Runa with 2 fine white horses for his family's farm. We have Maddox. We also have Grona, Nimron, and 3 other dwarves. Those dwarves are called Goan Cleftfist, Delphi Ironboot, and Nara Crystal Mace, and their names and their stats came from the back of Thunderdelve Mountain. It's going to take several days to get away from the Emirates of Ylaruam and into Rockhome, and during that time there was a sighting of about 40 kobolds. That was one of the random encounters I rolled up. One fireball paid to most of them and they ran off. They cross over into Rockhome by a Carrick castle, and it was then they were going to veer east to avoid Dengar and make their way around Clintest Lake. That has changed because Maddox is in a cage, and that cage is being towed in a cart by a draft horse. This cart and horse cannot make it over the mountains. However, past Dengar there is a pass over the Denwharf Spur that can take a horse and cart. During the daytime, Maddox can walk along beside the caravan with his hands tied. He's slowly being given a bit more freedom since, well, there isn't many places to run off to. And also, during the day, Maddox is still quite a capable warrior. He has spent some of the money that was found in the Were-Tiger cave, and also Sylvia, who does feel sorry for him, lent him some money, and he has upped his armour from leather to chainmail. He gets an extra 2 onto his armour class. At Dengar, we say goodbye to the dwarves. Grona is going off to confront Carrick and her brother about the leadership. She has the Hammer of the Troan as a symbol of authority. We hope that goes well for her. And the rest of the party, with Orm and Maddox, are going to climb up the foothills and into this pass over Denwharf Spur. It's the middle of Vatermont, it's bitterly cold, therefore Donard is going to learn 2 protection from cold spells. It's a spell we haven't really used before. It's much like protection from fire. It offers +1 to all cold based saving throws and also reduces damage by 1 per dice. It has a 30-foot radius that travels with the caster, and Donard will cast 1 in the morning so people can memorize spells, get a fire going, cook breakfast and get ready for the day. He will cast another 1 in the evening, again to help people settle into a camp. This is also fortuitous because, well, I rolled for an encounter which is coming up. One interesting thing of note is that the draft horse does not take well to Maddox's transformations. It has to be unhitched from the cart and the cage and taken off elsewhere so it doesn't bolt. The 2 white horses from Sukiskin, if you remember from the Night's Dark Terror, don't seem to be affected. They're perturbed, but they don't panic. And these 2 white horses, if you remember the character Loshad, who was a centaur, who was also the guardian of these horses, he commissioned the party to kill a pack of werewolves and bring back their heads. So Loshad clearly has an understanding of were creatures, and perhaps he has instilled that into these horses. The temperature drops as the party climb higher and they get to the mountain pass. There is also sometimes a bit of a minor blizzard which causes the pass to be treacherous. It will open up into a cleft of snow and rock, and this country is notorious for certain creatures, and I rolled up a random encounter which ticked all the boxes, and I got really excited about it. It's white dragons. The odds of getting dragons randomly in mountain passes is 25%. That itself wasn't unusual, and when you look at the dragon options, several of them are dragon-esque, like Hydra and Wyverns. There are 6 dragons, and I rolled up the most appropriate one. I rolled a 7 for white dragons, and I thought the stars are aligned on that one. If we look at a white dragon, they are the smallest with 6 hit dice. They do cold damage and they live in cold areas, and they have a cone-shaped breath. They only have a 10% chance of talking. These dragons failed. And when I say plural, there is more than one, and I'm going to say they're perched on an eyrie, maybe about 50 feet above the base of this small cleft valley overlooking. Now, will they actually pay any attention to the party? Let's see what their reaction rolls are. They are neutral. 2d6. Whoops. Right. Oh my god. Immediate attack. It wasn't even probably attack. Right. Okay. The fight is on. Right. I will get this set up. Right. If I told you this was my 3rd time running this fight, don't be surprised. The first time I did it with the microphone off, so there was no sound. The second time the camera wasn't working. 3rd time's a charm. Actually, the first 2 times were a charm. White dragons are the smallest of the dragons, and the party did quite well. Right, so I'm going to roll for encounter distance. That's 4d6 times 10. Alright, I'm not going to argue with that one. That's 230 yards away. These dragons fly at 80 yards per round, so it's going to take them, on the 3rd round, they will be able to fight. Well, and in the final 10 yards, they can breathe their dragon breath. This will give the party 2 clear rounds to do something before these dragons reach them. And I say dragons, there are 2 of them. They're slightly large for white dragons. They have 31 hit points each, which is just above average. So in the first round, Donard is going to cast Bless. Malin will give his magic ring to Carrick, so Carrick can cast up mirror images. Liz and Orm will untie Maddox and get him a bow. In the second round, Donard will cast Protection from Cold. This has a 30-foot radius, gives +2 to cold saving throws, and reduces cold damage by 1 per dice, so that's -6 damage from any frost breath. Malin and Carrick will cast up mirror images, and then Sylvia, on her first round, didn't mention her, she is going to cast a phantasmal force over the party and the wagon. This will act as a cloaking spell because it will look like rocks and snow of the environment. So hopefully this will disturb the dragons for a bit as they wonder what happened to the party. It also means on the 3rd round, when the dragons finally reach and breathe, Carrick can run out of the mirror image and Donard can run out to the edge of it, and that will draw dragon breath away from the horses and the more vulnerable people. So we've done round 1, we've got Bless, we've got the phantasmal force, Orm is untying Maddox, Liz is grabbing his bow, Sylvia has cast a phantasmal force. Round number 2, Carrick gets 3 mirror images, Malin casts 4 mirror images. We have 3 archers in the form of Maddox, Orm and Liz. Sylvia is currently holding up her phantasmal force. Donard has cast Cure Light Wounds and Carrick has cast his spell. Round number 3, these dragons are nearly upon us. They will get their attack at the end of this round, which will be their breath attack, so we can launch an entire volley to try and bring them down. And on this one, Carrick is going to run away from the wagon, at least 35 feet away. Donard is going to leave the phantasmal force 5 feet away. That means his radius of cold protection will protect Carrick and the wagon. And it also means there's a good space between both him and Carrick, so it's hard to target both of them. Let's launch our volley of missiles. Liz, these dragons have an AC of 3. She has a THAC of 13, she hits AC 1. Because of the bless, her THAC was 12, she hits the dragons and she does a total of 7 points. Now which dragon does she hit? There are two. The first one I will call odd numbers, the second one I will call even numbers, and I will use this green dice. So that's dragon 2 is down to 24. Orm will have a shot. His ranged THAC isn't that great at 17. He misses. Maddox, his ranged THAC was a bit better at 15. He misses. Now we have spells. By the way, those arrows popped through the phantasmal force and destroyed it. So Malin might as well launch a magic missile. And that's a reasonably good one. And he hits Dragon 1 for 11, 13, 16 points. It's down to 15 already. Sylvia casts up a much weaker magic missile that does 7, 10 points on Dragon 1 again. It's just down to 5. There's nothing that the two melee guys can't do at the minute. They've run out there with their shields. No, actually, I will give Donard a chance to hit with a sling. Now, Donard has skilled training with slings, so it goes from 1d4 to 1d6, and his ranged THAC is 16. He doesn't have a good dexterity. Well, he hits, especially when you add the bless, and he does 5 points off dragon number 1, and that's dragon number 1 dead. Okay, it falls from the sky. So next round he has to take his hammer out. So dragon number 1 is in range to breathe. It will be difficult to get both Carrick and Donard inside its cone of cold. I'm going to say there's a 20% chance that it succeeds. And it fails to, so it's either going to pick Donard or Carrick. And Carrick rolls the lowest. This dragon is down to 24 hit points, minus 6 for cold protection, means it can do a max of 18 or 9 with the saving throw. And Carrick's save versus dragon breath is just 5, and he gets a bonus of 2 for the spell, so he takes 9 points. Carrick is down to 30. So everybody cheers as one dragon hits the deck and another dragon is injured. However, a third dragon, slightly smaller, flies from this area. This looks like a family, 2 parents and a youngling. That one again will take 2 rounds to get here, and it has a chance to breathe. Alright, so we got initiative on that third round simply because the dragons were covering distance. So this is round number 4. By round number 6, the young dragon will have reached us and can blast us with a breath attack. Round number 5 and the dragon gets initiative. Will it breathe? It does. Will it hit both Donard and Carrick? It does. It manages to get between them. It does 18 damage. Let's roll for Carrick's saving throw, which he makes. Let's roll for Donard's saving throw, which he makes. So Carrick is down to 21, Donard is down to 42. It's our go. Let's launch some missiles at this thing. Sylvia will be taking her bow out this round. Liz hits and does 4 onto that. That dragon is down to 15. Maddox misses. Orm hits and does another 6. This dragon is down to 9. I should have given Malin an intention. Could he fireball it? Probably not, as it's moving. He does have a second magic missile. He can cast that. That's easily enough to kill the dragon. So that's 2 dead dragons, and we have a third one swooping towards us. Oh, by the way, Orm's shot did 7. I forgot bless. So that was round 5. This dragon's gonna get to us next round. All our archers are ready. It's 150 yards away. If I look at the missile fire table, that's within range of all our weapons. There's a -1, so the bless bonus is negated, so we're back on the standard Thaco. Let's see if everybody can shoot this dragon. Liz hits it, does 6 damage, it's down to 19. Sylvia misses. Maddox hits, does 4, it's down to 14. Orm misses badly. Donard misses. Spells. Now Malin is going to unleash a 66 lightning bolt. Oh my. Right. I think the football chant is go on my son. 20, 29. Half damage is 14. This dragon has 14 hit points left. He gets zapped and fried. Let's just say out of curiosity, it has a save versus spells of 14. And it would have failed anyway. Wow. And that's a third dragon gone within the space of a minute. Right. Okay. I hope I played that fight correctly. There was a dragon who was in a cave underneath Horror on the Hill. These are the first dragons we have encountered in the wild. I hope I have played this correctly. Now there's a dragon's eyrie with a heap of treasure to be found. I did roll up the treasure and well, there's rich pickings to be had. I will reduce the treasure because these dragons are slightly smaller. So even if I take a third off it, it's still a phenomenal amount of gold and jewellery. So let's see if the party want to scale the side of the cliff to get to the dragon's eyrie. How far up the cliff is the dragon's eyrie? I'm going to roll a d6, add 5 and multiply by 10. So it's 70 feet up. That's easily climbable by Liz, and it also means we can also use the 2 ropes of climbing to get several people up there. And so when half of the party are up on top of the eyrie, they can see a hoard of gold and gems, and sadly, especially for Carrick, what looks to be the remains of dwarven armour and weapons. This is a trade route from Rockhome into the northeastern lands, and these dragons have probably been terrorising it all winter. This means there's a hoard of treasure. Some of it is in sacks, some of it is in boxes, and a lot of it is just loose. There are 2 ways they could do this. They could gently lower it down the ropes bit by bit, and all the loose stuff they could just chuck over the edge of the cliff into the snow below and just gather it from there. I think that would make more sense than trying to put it into sacks and lowering it slowly. Now this is a dragon's hoard, and if we look at the dragon treasure type, it's H, and treasure type H is, as you would expect, pretty good. A good chance of electrum, of gold and silver, and a fairly good chance for platinum, good chances for gems, a lot of gems, and a good chance for jewellery, a rather small chance for magical items. I succeeded rolling for gold and rolling for jewellery. I didn't get any gems or any other coins, and sadly no magic items. However, the gold, if you look at it, is 10 to 60,000 pieces of gold. I rolled up 30, and the jewels are 10 to 40 pieces, and I rolled up all 40. That's a 1d4 times 10. So the odds of getting 40 pieces of jewellery, that's 25%. However, if we go back to the dragon page, we're told that younger dragons may have collected as little as a quarter to half of the normal listed treasure. Older dragons may have as much as double the listed amount. Okay, the white dragons are roughly half the hit dice of a gold dragon and 3/5 of a red dragon. So I am going to scale down the treasure appropriately because gold and red dragons also get treasure H. So even if I half it, this is a king's ransom, and this is a random encounter. When I totaled it up, there is 15,000 gold pieces, 21,200 XP worth of jewellery. Orm and Maddox aren't just retainers on a retainer wage. they are traveling with the party, so they get their full share, so that treasure will be split 7 ways. So if I divide all the treasure by 7 and multiply it by 5, the party will get 10,715 gold, they will get 15,142 jewellery, and they will get 1,553 for slaying the dragons. Orm and Maddox will get the rest. So what was for Orm a journey home has become the path to riches, and Maddox is more than mollified with his grievances, because this is much more than he would have got being a mercenary with the caravan. So this means when we add up all the experience, Malin will level up tonight. So they're going to make camp in the lee side of a cliff, away from the harshest of the weather. Dragon meat, I'm sure, is good meat, so they've got plenty to feast upon, and there is enough debris and unfortunate refuse left over from the dragon's victims that they can add it to a fire and get a little camp going tonight, and they can celebrate their riches and what was, from my point of view, not that difficult to fight. Again, I'm not sure, would anybody have played it differently to make it more difficult? Did I make it too easy? Or is this just what we can expect from this party, and should things be a bit more difficult? Those are questions for myself. However, I also have another question, because Malin will level up to level 7 and he gets a level 4 spell. Let's look at his magic user table, and he gets an extra 1st level spell, so he can get 3 magic missiles, and he gets a 4th level spell. So I will pick one of each for him. And if I look at his 1st level spells, protection from evil, I think I'll go for that one. And for his 4th level spells, he has confusion on a scroll, so he will write that into his book. This also means he can recharge the confusion spell in his magic ring. And there's so many good ones here. Level 4 really does kick off into a new level. Well, I suppose it depends on how you play the spells. I mean, Phantasmal Force as a sort of cloaking spell has worked great. Wall of Fire sounds great. Wall of Ice, just as good. Dimension Door, Polymorph Self. I think the best thing to do is just roll a d12, and if it's confusion, I'll roll again. And it's 9. Polymorph Self. Polymorph Self do. It's the caster only, kind of a clue in the title. 6 turns plus 1 turn per level of the character. The caster may change shapes. This spell allows the caster to change shape, taking the physical form of another living creature. The hit dice of the new form must be equal to or less than the hit dice of the caster. The caster's armor class, hit points, hit rolls, and saving throws do not change. Special abilities and special immunities of the new form are not gained, but physical abilities are required. For example, a magic user polymorphed into a frost giant has the strength of a frost giant and the ability to hurl boulders, but not immunity from cold. A magic user polymorphed into a dragon could fly, but would not be able to use any breath weapons or spells. Spells cannot be cast while polymorphed into a different form. Okay, he has Polymorph Self. And a 3rd level 1 spell, so this party is really kicking off. Does he get any other advantages? His saving throws don't change, and he does get 1d4 hit points, so let's do those. One. Okay, right. Must remember, add 1 hit point. What else? His Thaco, does it change? No, his Thaco doesn't change till level 11. Okay. So we will leave the party a bit shocked by the attack of the dragons, but also elated at their new treasure. Luckily, they have a wagon, and they can easily put this gold onto the back of the wagon. Remember, I'm not doing a 1 gold piece equals 1 coin weight. I'm doing a 10-to-1 ratio, so this gold weighs 1,500 coins rather than 15,000. Right, this is a short insert because while everybody is celebrating, Donard does remind Maddox he has to go into the cage. Does he save? Right, this is the 13th phase of the full moon. It's waning, so he gets a -1 penalty to his saving throw. He needs a 13 or more. And he fails utterly. So yep, he turns into a were-tiger in his cage and he snarls and rattles for most of the night. But he is working against dwarven engineering and blacksmithing, so he's not going anywhere. Alright, so I'll leave it there, and Malin is going to wake up tomorrow morning very much a new person, an advanced magic user, so I will see you then.